So, namaste everybody. We are back again today with beautiful two doctors. And Sumita says, "तुम मुझे doctor बुला रही हो तो शायद I will definitely be there." She's none less than a doctor. Dr. Rashmi Arora from Delhi, and we have
Namaste, everybody.
Sumita Mendirata from Mumbai, and I'm from
Hi.
Mumbai. Namaste. We will be introducing both of them properly. Just to let you know, today we are going to be talking about a topic that is very close to my heart. And the topic is about how to take care of your parents. And a lot of understanding coming in for me right now, but we'll talk about that later. Let's first introduce Dr. Rashmi Arora. Namaste again, Dr. Rashmi Arora from Delhi. Could you please introduce yourself? Thank you.
Namaste, Anu, and namaste, everybody. We are back with the topic. We've been doing this challenge for 15 days, and it's the fourth day today. And if you feel like, you can go to the page, Anu's page, and YouTube channel, and see these topics. We have covered till now is one on intimacy, the other is on managing anger, and the first one was on. The first one was
On parenting.
on parenting, yes. So now we are not none less than children who will take care of parents. So I am
Yeah.
Dr. Rashmi Arora from Delhi. I am a homeopathic doctor and I am a mental health trainer. And over to Sumita, who will introduce us. Thank you. Yes. So now we are
Thanks, Anu.
none less
Thanks,
than
Rashmi. So I'm Sumita Mendirata, and here I am today again with yet another episode. I would say a series which Anu has started and taken initiative. So it's like a marathon we are doing. Every day we are touching lives of so many people who are viewers on Facebook, on social media. So I'm Sumita Mendirata. I'm a consultant clinical psychologist and counselor, and also I'm a read-on therapist, meta health and EFT practitioner, as well as a matrix reimprinting practitioner. So let's see how the topic goes today. And this is really very important and sensitive topic, I would say, Anu, which you have taken today, because we all have parents and we all are parents. So it's like the past, the present, and the future is definitely taking care of the elderly. So over to you, Anu.
Thank you. So this is for everyone to know. We just started it sitting down. I and Rashmi were having a conversation, and these 15 days are like using as a therapy, not just for my panelists, but for me, as well as for you. We do not prepare anything for this topic. We haven't had any dry run. We haven't had any kind of run. We have no idea how it will go. We haven't spoken to each other. But I'm picking up topics that just kind of bubble inside me and say, let's do this. Let's do this. We are not chasing perfection because life is not perfect. But my intention here is that to unwind our life every day, to understand the sensitivities that we are surrounded by every day, and how challenging life can be every day. We search for triggers cognitively. Those triggers are constantly present in our environment. And today I've picked up a topic which is a great therapy for me, a great therapy for Sumita, a great therapy for Rashmi. Uh, Rashmi is right now with her parents who are, how old are they, Rashmi?
they're 80, around 80.
Wow. I lost my father 2 years back at 82 or 83. And I still have an elderly mom who I'm beginning to connect in a very different way. It's taken me 70 plus years to understand that she has her limitations too, even though she looks really young. Sumit, on the other hand, is surrounded by elderly people in her house. So, Sumita, can you throw some light on how many elderly people in your house?
Three elderly people, Anu, my father-in-law, mother-in-law, and my husband's grandmother, Nani ji. So she's above 87 years, and my in-laws are both in the age group of 70 years approximately.
Yeah.
So
And
it's been 15 years I've been staying with them.
wow. So, this is for the audience to know that we are not talking from books, we are talking from experiences, we're talking from our heart, we're talking from the place. And at this point, I need to acknowledge my mother in law who's staying all alone in Delhi. She comes from an army background. Her husband was in the army. She lost her husband 30 years back. But over 30 years, she has never really lived her life, because when you lose your spouse, it is a very difficult situation. Everything around you changes, just like everything around you changes when you get married, when you get puberty. Everything around you changes when you lose that one man in your life because of whom you get a marital status. And interesting, 30 years that I know, I've been married for 28 years now, and I've known her for more than that. My families knew each other, and she lives all by herself. I don't know how she does that. And she's adamant about living on her own terms, which is great. Kudos to her. And yet, when I was picking up this topic, it struck me, are we only talking about our parents? And Sumita saying my in laws sparked a story in me and saying, I must acknowledge the lady in Delhi called Uma Mehta, who stays all by herself and has the guts to teach me as a woman of today that it is possible. That it is possible. I must confess here, it's generally a very difficult proposition and challenging to fall in love with your mother in law, or for the mother in law to fall in love with the daughter in law. But I don't think any other combination would have worked in a better way than Uma Mehta and Anu Mehta. Because we two very strong headed women living our life at our own terms. So over to Rashmi, if you can throw some light on your in-laws, how old they are, where are they, and if you have learned anything from them. Thank you.
My parents-in-law are in Dehradun, and my father-in-law must be around 87, and mother-in-law must be around 80. And the best learning from them is that they're elderly. See, be any elderly. I've lived with my grandmom also, who passed away about 4, 5, 6 years back, and she was 98. So I spend the most of my life with her. Any elderly parents, it's very uh, nice to be with them, because you feel a comfort. And I remember a story also. An elderly man is a wise man. The story which goes as there was a wedding in the family, and in that family the bride side had put in a condition that the groom side will come only when there won't be an elderly man with them, so elderly person with them. So this person insisted, take me along. So the one elderly person, so they said, no, we can't take you along. He promised them. He said, it's okay, you put me in a sack and take me along. So they put them in a sack and put him in a sack and took them along. Now the first time when they reached over there, they said, okay, you have to have all this food. And the food was heaps and heaps and heaps. So they said, the people said, we can't eat it. So anyway, the old man in their group said, you can eat it. Don't worry. Take bits and bits. Pass one bite to everybody. Then pass the other bite and then pass the other bite. Make it fun and you will eat the whole food. So they could do that. Then they came up with another challenge. And then this challenge was also taken care of. Similarly, another challenge and another challenge was taken care of. So the bride side said, you definitely have a wise man with you, an elderly person with you. So,
Right.
so this is like this, how it goes on for elderly parents. I should not mention the word in-laws. I should just mention the word parents, because when we get married, we do in-law is something like the law has made you say this. So it's parents from this side, parents from that side. I'm lucky to have four sets of parents, two sets of parents, sorry.
Thank you so much, Rashmi. And over to Sumita. And if you can throw some light on the elderly who are at home and what have you learned from them?
Great insight, Rashmi, and truly said. Technically, we use the term in-laws, but definitely they are, the two sets of parents you have. So, my one set of parents stay in a place called Byas. So they are settled there for more than 20 years now. And recently, I visited them after a very long time. I mean, usually I visit them twice a year, and this is the first time for COVID I could manage to meet them only after 9 to 10 months. And so I had a very beautiful 1 month, I could spend there, and I was really blessed to have that good time with them after long. And staying here with my another set of parents for almost 15 years now. Uh, Most of the time, my husband's granny was also been staying with us. So I felt that when I came to this after marriage, I really had a lot of I would say a talking partner most of the time if my husband is traveling or something. So I actually told my mom-in-law very almost on the first or second day. I said, I just don't want to become your daughter. Just I don't want to replace anybody, but whatever I am in a position, you just always connect to me directly. I don't want that. We should have a direct relationship, and that is what my husband also emphasized on, that have a direct relationship with everybody in the house. So I appreciated that, and I felt that because he is giving so much importance, I also valued that uh, connect, and then I formed a good connect. And all my friends would really make fun of me that you have got two mother-in-laws at home, and whenever we meet your in-laws, and they are they're always praising for you. What do you do with them? I said, I don't do anything actually. I don't understand why they do that. So I'm really blessed and lucky enough to get that company. And after Samara is born, I actually saw that bonding and connection, which I didn't have really with my grandparents, because we were staying at a different place. We would just meet them for holidays. But the connect I see of the grandmother for Samara, for both sides actually, because I've been traveling to my parents also frequently. So I feel this is a very, as a child when you're growing up, and you have a big connection, you have mother, you have grandmother, so the child gets bonding to everybody. The child is not just clinged on to the mother like in nuclear families it happens. So I feel that these 7 8 years of Samara's bringing up has been with everybody, and she has learned definitely a lot of value systems and beliefs which she is able to connect to a lot of people. So I feel it's a great blessing if you are in the company of elderly people around you, because they definitely give you insight. In fact, my father-in-law's favorite dialogue is, Gio or Jine do. So I always, feel that, he's like, you should, you don't say me anything, I don't say anything. So, just chill, enjoy life. So I never really felt that I'm staying with my so-called in-laws or something. So it's been a very, I would say, a free and a very comfortable relationship, luckily, and no challenges, I would say. So
Wonderful. So it's nice to hear various point of views from how in-laws and when we say parents. But despite saying in-laws and parents saying parents, I often find, and I struggled with it, that we often address our husband and say, your family, my family. We never say our family. And I did that for the longest, and I still do that sometimes. So, a hard question right now, and that is, if they are only parents, why is our body language and why is our vocabulary that your parents, my parents? And why are we so bitter sometimes with what they said? And why are we okay with the same thing happening in our house? Any insights there? Yes, Rashmi.
I would say that, Anu, That's a perspective. Because we do quarrel with our parents also. Even yesterday's talk, Dr. Divya also had mentioned the same. We have a set of parents and we can talk to them, we can quarrel with them. They are there to help us out. So these kind of conflicts can occur with any two people who are living together. But it is we who make it more like make it more important. That okay, your mother has done that, my mother has not done that. Maybe my mother might also be doing that. This is the same thing. But probably I won't bring that to light. Somebody else's point, I'll bring that to light. That's a conditioning we are all going through.
So can we say this is happening in generations?
Yes, we can.
And would you agree with me that this is one of the biggest menace in marriage today?
Yes, we can say that.
Thank you so much for your honesty. Sumita, ये इतना फर्क क्यों है जब हम वोकैबुलरी यूज करते हैं, वो तेरी माँ, वो मेरी माँ, और इसी बात को लेके इतनी लड़ाई क्यों होती है? If we were so comfortable and said, oh, I'm so blessed, my parents, your parents, our parents, why have we never said our parents? And जब हमारी माँ पर चिल्लाती है तो हम बोलते हैं हमारी माँ थी, पर जब दूसरा चिल्लाता है तो हमें 20 साल तक याद रहता है. क्यों याद रहता है? ऐसा क्या कर दिया उन्होंने कि हमें वो याद रहता है पर वो याद नहीं रहता? ये सेलेक्टिव भूलना, ये सेलेक्टिव पकड़ लेना क्यों है?
क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं we feel that this is like when we are born into a house. It's our right, we take it as our birthright to कि माँ की डांट खाई है बचपन से. और अगर I mean even if you grow up, if your mother is telling you something, we take it like it's okay, we have been listening to her. Sometimes we can even give a deaf ear. But now when you enter marriage relationship, and when you are, it's a I would say again a programming which you are doing, that you have to adjust. और अगर कई बार आप adjust हो भी चुके हो, sometimes people just question you so much. I still remember when I used to go after marriage. Mine is a love marriage, so I used to go back to my hometown and visit my parents and everything. So in-laws अच्छे हैं. They would just question me 2-3 questions. I would like, why are you questioning me? So this is like a very typical questionnaire you are given the moment you are getting married, or you got married and you visit your parents' house. So luckily my mom never asked question, and she would always say that कि बेटा जो भी होगा खुद ही संभाल, मेरे तक बात मत पहुंचने देना. She was very clear on that. So it's your family now you manage. So that's why I said it is always there, but definitely like you said, उनका एक action और उनका एक वो. So that is what you have to program yourself and question yourself कि अगर ये हुआ है तो कितना, in what I would say intensity are you taking it personally. There have been times where I have also taken in to that great intensity and felt it so much. But then on second thoughts, when you talk, like when I express this with my husband, and he would put me the same question what you are putting, same thing, like if your mom would have asked you, would you have felt the same thing? And then I would just rethink it and say no, it's okay. So somewhere I feel that programming can be done individually. अगर हम वही को we repeat that in our minds, and we can intensify it, and we can just make it very small. It's a small thing. So it's up to us how you understand that whole scenario. But definitely programming is there.
Thank you so much. My both guests say that there is a programming, that there is a menace where we have not considered as our. बच्चों के लिए हम बोलते हैं ये हमारे हैं, पर ये तेरी माँ का घर, ये मेरी माँ का घर, ये तेरी माँ ने गाली दी, ये मेरी माँ ने गाली दी. कहीं पे somewhere the man starts supporting his mom and family and protecting, and somewhere the wife starts protecting her family. And as if I believe that it could be because of various different value systems. And definitely there is an adjustment period. And somewhere there's also a hurry that the new person who's coming to your house needs to adjust very fast to your way of thinking, and because there are two different ways of thinking. So if I go from here to America, it will take me at least 6 months to adjust to the new space. नलके कैसे खुलते हैं, लाइट कैसे जलती है, लोग ऑर्डर कैसे करते हैं, बात कैसे करते हैं. If it's going to take me 6 months in a new place,
Definitely.
you think it's going to take time for both the sides to adjust, and we do not give that time because the battery of questions start like Sumita says. आपके in-laws कैसे हैं, आपको अच्छे से ट्रीट करते हैं, मारा तो नहीं, बाल तो नहीं खींचे. I still remember I used to have very short hair. मतलब short in the sense if you could hold it there would nothing come in the hand, that short. And my father said, thank God तेरे तो बाल इतने छोटे हैं कि कोई बाल पुट ही नहीं सकेगा. They will, nobody will be able to uproot your hair because हाथ में ही नहीं आएंगे. But it used to be a talk back in time where they used to say तुम अपनी सास के घर जाओगी तो वो तुम्हारे को ठीक करेगी. अब सवाल ये है कि जब इतना कुछ चल रहा है उसके बीच में, the minute you get married, your parents suddenly become flawless. And all this is connected with the care that we give our elderly. So Rashmi, suddenly before marriage, and parents, we all are parents. I've done plenty of mistakes. I did one yesterday night. I couldn't connect with my son today morning again. And in fact, 5 minutes before this program, he said, I want you right now. Can you leave all this? He's 27. He said, I need you to drop all this and come and talk to me. And I said, no, I have committed. It's a 15-day challenge and the challenge is challenging me. You are important, son, but whatever you have to discuss can wait for another 3 hours. So, we as parents, and I as a mother, I'm constantly making mistakes. I'm not claiming to be perfect. I'm not a perfect daughter-in-law. I'm not a perfect wife. I'm not a perfect mother. I'm not a perfect trainer, but I try my best. And I'm not a perfect counselor either. Now, Rashmi, over to you. Taking this into understanding, how did your perception of your parents change after marriage? Because something shifts.
Anu, for me, I've been married for 21 years. My perception had not changed. For me, it was always ours. But gradually over time, when you start living with somebody, you tend to be taking care of their habits, and वही दिमाग में आपके रहते हैं. These are these only people who are in your mind. Somebody who is always far off will always be good for you. So it happens like this, and in most of the families I've just seen like this, where you're living. If parents are you, if you're living with your parents, you will find flaws in them. If you're living with your in-laws, you're going to mention in-laws right now just for the sake of demarcating. It's you tend to find flaws in them.
So beautifully said. So first we are living in a world where we are finding flaws, where we are error finding machines. Where first
Because we are perfectionists.
Of what is going on, and then we are finding faults and not taking responsibility.
And we are, because we are perfectionists in our own self.
How can it be perfection when we are blaming the whole world?
Perfection is finding something which is absolutely complete.
There is nothing complete in this world.
And there is nothing complete.
Stories, these incomplete stories are so beautiful. First, we are making those incomplete stories, we're giving it meaning, and then we are finding flaws, whether we are with our parents, whether with whoever we are living, we are finding flaws. You know why, guys? Because there is a great understanding in our Indian culture कि जिससे तुम प्यार करते हो उसको पीट सकते हो. That's how we show our love. The person that you love the most will get the maximum beating. I questioned someone the other day and I said, आपको गुस्सा बहुत आता है? And he said, हाँ. I said, किस पे निकालते हो? कहते मेरी बीवी पे. बोला वाह. मैंने मेरे फादर से एक दिन ऐसे ही पूछा था. डैड आप घर पे बहुत चिल्लाते हो, बाहर जब आप होते हो तो सब ठीक होता है, घर पे क्यों चिल्लाते हो? He says, यहाँ आई कैन अफोर्ड टू बेटा, मुझे पता है तुम लोग सुन लोगे, मुझसे इतना प्यार करते हो कि डिस्पाइट मी स्क्रीमिंग एंड शाउटिंग एंड वेंटिंग, यू विल टेक केयर ऑफ मी, यू विल नॉट अबैंडन मी. एक सुकून है उस सोच में. But think about it. First, we find a fault and we scream, and what we are doing is actually venting our darkest stories onto other one. We are literally shitting on someone. So, Sumita, what? How was your perception different when you got married? What changed for you?
So for me, there was a understanding that when I got married, I was not keeping very physically. I had some issues, and that was recently diagnosed, and it was informed to my in-laws also. My husband also knew about it. So I was in a very hesitant kind of a state. I was myself in a kind of a, I would say, a guilty kind of a mode that I'm not able to do certain obligations or not able to do certain things because of my physical limitations. And though they were not saying me anything, but I was always in that most of rethinking and how to say no to something, or how to so I was in a very obligatory kind of a position, I would say. So it was so difficult for me to, if they ask me something and where I had to say no to them, and they would listen to my no and not question me also. But for me, saying that no was really challenging. Though what I felt was I was a very assertive girl myself. In my head, I was very assertive, and I thought that I can be very straightforward to people. But gradually, like you said, it takes 6 months, and I took around that 6 months to 1 year. And then gradually, when I saw their support coming in, and I could believe that yes, they are really supporting me, because initially I couldn't trust them, frankly speaking. I always thought they would be thinking that in their head, and this would be a constant discussion between me and my husband, and he would say, you do overthinking, have they told you anything? Why are you doing an overthinking? So gradually, I think I developed that trust, and I could just overlook that physical limitation, and I could understand that even if I have a physical limitation, I can express my love and my connection through different ways. And they also understood that this is the area where she can't do, but there are other areas. So I think we both find a midway kind of a thing, and we went ahead with that. They accepted me and I accepted them in that kind of a situation. But I feel that acceptance, that belief has to come in gradually, because as for our parents, we think that belief is there, that trust is there, I would say. But like you said, like anybody goes into a new place, new house, so that adjustment itself takes around 6 months to 1 year. And I think that everybody should give that much time. I felt that I didn't give that much time, and in fact my pains and everything increased during that connection, because my mind was constantly boggling in this whole situation. I didn't enjoy really my first year of married life, just because of the struggle which I was going through. And now I felt that I could have enjoyed more. Ultimately, we all are happy at the end. So why I was so fixed on this situation? Because for me that was really challenging. A newly married bride, and she couldn't do this, she couldn't do this. But this was all in my head. I don't think they really. And now when even sometimes I talk to them, and they didn't really feel that much I was feeling. So I always feel that it is always it's between me and me myself kind of a story that we all run in our heads. And sometimes it's good to communicate. The way I communicate to them now, had I communicated to them that time, they would have cleared me that no, but we are not thinking that way, and I would have just been much
Absolutely.
better. So,
I think you've expressed so beautifully, and that, sometimes we make presumptions. Either we feel we are smaller than, or we are bigger than, or we are more intelligent, or we are less intelligent, or we are more pretty, or we are less pretty, or we are more capable, or less. And these presumptions stand in between us and the communication. So, this is what I feel. This is just my opinion. Like I said, it's not about a book that we read and we are doing this program. I feel when the child comes into the mother's or parents' life, it's parents who are adjusting. because their life turns upside down from not being able to sleep with the child crying the whole night. The child is very vulnerable, howling, crying, and the mother just holds the child and says, "Don't worry, all is well." The father just gets up and says, "Don't worry, beta, I'm there for you." That feeling that I'm there for you builds a trust between the child and the mother and the father. It's not that the child is adjusting, or not too much work is done on that. I'm sure the child is adjusting too, from the other world to this world, and then into your womb and then outside. Of course, going through a lot of adjustment, but he's not capable of talking and expressing. He's in the most vulnerable position. But when you get married and you go to another house, you don't are not perceived as a vulnerable being. You're perceived as someone who's taken one of the most important part of their territory, their son or their daughter, and your territories have changed. And somewhere over there, the parents look vulnerable more than the daughter-in-law looking vulnerable. And in this process where vulnerability does not exist, or both are trying to show that we are, and we put on the best facade. We put on the best facade, the best clothes, the best jewelry to show them that you're complete, and they are also putting on that facade to show that everything is complete. When everything is so complete and perfect, where is the space for vulnerability and for connection? And from there, we start suppressing the girl, thinking she's complete, she needs to need me. And the girl says, "You need to need me." And somewhere in this whole story, she shows her vulnerability to her husband in the middle of the night. "I didn't like the way your mom spoke to me. I'm not like that." And he thinks, and he stands there very vulnerable, not knowing whether he should support his mom or he should support the girl that he loves so much. And somewhere in the middle of the two stories, the boy starts moving out. And this impacts how we care for the elderly. This is a very important factor, because at the time when the elderly need the new girl and their son, they lose both of them. They lose both of them. And somewhere it's very difficult to position who's vulnerable in that position. So that's just my thought pattern. Again, I haven't read this anywhere. So you may agree with it, you may disagree with it, and there'll be many other theories. But this is what I feel, that vulnerability is mispositioned and misunderstood. And we are chasing perfection at the time of chasing. क्योंकि they say to people, जब तुम्हारी शादी हो जाएगी तुम settle हो जाओगे. Meaning after this you don't need to settle yourself again. You know what, guys, beautiful people, stop saying that to your children. Because I've been married for 28 years, I'm not still settled. I hope you understand that. How can you settle? So over to Rashmi. What do you think, like I just gave you what do you think in your opinion kind of impacts the care of the elders because of the relationships coming in?
Anu, relationship is, again, we'll come back to the earlier topic which we had discussed day before yesterday, is something like intimacy. What impacts is the intimacy with your own self. If you're intimate with your own self, you will be intimate with others. If you have a relationship with your own self, you will have a relationship with others. But if you lack the relationship within yourself, your relationship with others will suffer.
Oh, wow. So beautiful. So खुद में ही है वो सब.
खुद में ही सारा जहां है.
खुद में ही है सब कुछ. खुद को पहचानने की जरूरत है. You know, that literally makes me have a feel the emotion right there. I can actually feel what you're feeling right now. And so beautifully, Sumita had said she felt less. अगर ये अपने आप को कम नहीं समझती तो शायद पेन भी कम होती. सबसे ज़्यादा we start underestimating ourselves and putting ourselves down. The minute we put ourselves down, the whole world can walk all over you. You make that space in your energy field. Sumita, over to you.
Very right, Anu. It's that energy connection which you have, when you. So I felt that when years later, now when I see my journey of 15 years, staying with them, connecting with them, the kind of trust they have on me, I would say, is far more than their own. I mean, my husband, so they like my husband always says this line that लोगों के घर में लक्ष्मी आती है, so like the Indian you custom you say कि घर में लक्ष्मी आई है, he says हमारे घर में लक्ष्मी medical store आ गया because you have really enlightened our house with lot of information on medical background, because they were absolutely clueless about this thing. And I was like, no, every year we should get a medical test done, we should take care about our health, we should have healthy food. So this is like I would say a reformation I've got. So they all treat me like as if I have done some major reformations in the house. They were like, we were eating everything. We didn't even think what is this food about. You made us think so much, eat healthy food, do this, do that. So I mean, they have taking it supportedly. That is why, so that acceptance and so give and take, it's a relation of give and take, every relation. And now when I go back and, go at my parents' space, and when I connect with them, there are a lot of things, I keep telling them also, you do this, you do this. So it's like how the other person is taking. And what I feel is at the age what they are, when we reach there, I always like to put myself in their shoes. And I feel that they are still supporting in listening to us. I don't know, we would be listening to us because we with all the information and knowledge we have, maybe at this stage when we reach, when I'm like 65, 70, I would think that, oh, I have seen everything, I've got so much information. Why would I listen to a 28 or 30-year-old person telling me about this? But I feel that they are still open to listen to us at least. So somewhere they care for us in listening to us. So I think at least this much, connection or respect or love or care we should also show to them, that we listen to them. And a lot of times I feel just listening to them and talking with them makes all the difference. They are at a stage where because we are so much busy in our own words, so you like me and my in-laws, we are just staying on the same floor, so I always tell my daughter also, at least 3 to 4 times, she would always tell me, why are you telling me to go and meet them each, and morning, evening, it's like breakfast, lunch, dinner. I tell them, go show your face, go give them a hug, go connect with them. So, but that makes a lot of difference. It's like, they get that energy to, because for them, it's like a connection which they're looking for, because they have led their lives, they have led their busy lives. Now they have a very different kind of a routine, and we have a very different kind of a routine. So to match them, this is what I have felt always, so we are the people who are informing them what's happening outside world. So if we are just sitting with them for 10-15 minutes discussing them, telling them about our lives, they feel really happy and good. So I think that is what they're looking for, that connection. I mean, they're not really, at least in my case, I feel that they're not really demanding me of so many other things. It's just that they looking for some outside talks, what's happening around the world, what's different, so which we have information. It's like a information sharing, and also listening to them, what's happening in their world, kind of a thing. So that can be done on phone, that can be done on anywhere now, like we all have got connected. So I feel that connection is really important at that stage, because if I see myself sitting somewhere 70, 75, and I'm sitting somewhere even in India or abroad, or if I don't have that much friends, or I don't have that much connection, what would I do? मतलब I don't understand मैं करूँगी क्या उस उम्र में जाके. So I feel that even they think that way, because they have led their busy lives. We are all busy, the youngsters are busy, and if we just connect to them in that way, that would really bring a lot of energy and happiness to them, and that is a form of showing care to them.
And that's such a superb way. Just connect, talk to them. But Sumita, there are times, and today's topic has gone a little bit away from caring, but I really wanted to bring up what interrupts the caring, because we know that we need to care. Yet I know of people who may be just the reverse, that you're making an effort to connect. And maybe some loss in your family, in the in-laws family, even before you came, has made them in that state where they cannot connect. So you're saying hi and there's no reaction. You're saying hi, there's no reaction. You're saying hi, there's no reaction. And then you slowly say, okay, I don't get a reaction. Maybe that's not required. And then you try hi, it still goes bad. Hi, still goes bad. And then you slowly say, okay, and you become them. बंद वो रास्ते थे, बंद ये रास्ते हैं, बंद दीवारों के पीछे वो बैठे हैं, बंद दीवारों के पीछे हम बैठे हैं. दोनों चाहते हैं कि एक रिलेशनशिप हो, पर कहीं वो जगह नहीं मिल रही है जहां से कूद के एक दूसरे को समझने की भी पॉसिबिलिटी हो. कहीं पे they think they treated you well and you think you treated them well. And this is not just any set of parents. And that creates such sadness that no matter how much you try, nothing goes further. I'm sure all of you would agree with me that this can happen in any communication. धीरे धीरे आदत सी पड़ जाती है फिर एक दूसरे के बिना रहने की, एंड देन वही लोग जो आपके थे वो बेगाने हो जाते हैं. And at some point, those strangers become such big strangers that if you meet them, you won't even remember their faces. And it could be you standing on one side and anyone else standing on the other side. Can you throw some light on that, Rashmi? ऐसी सिचुएशन के साथ कैसे डील किया जाए?
Anu, ऐसी situation, with this situation, what you're talking about is, well, can I take that answer a bit later? Let me think about it.
Of course.
Thank you.
क्या बोलेंगी? होता है ना ऐसे, सुमिता?
Definitely, at some point, I closed, or even some point the other person closed. But that can happen with anybody because it's a mood thing. We all have different moods. We all are in a different, I would say, emotional period where we don't want to talk, or we were so much emotionally. Somewhere it is about emotions only. जब आप एकदम अपने आप को बंद कर देते हैं, कुछ fear होता है. There's some kind of anger. There's some. I have done that. There has been a time in my life when I have closed down, and there has been a time where I felt that the response is not coming, so I also closed down. But still, I felt.
I also did that.
Yeah. So, but later on, वो एक time period निकल जाता है. महीना निकल गया, 2 महीने. कहीं ना कहीं आप realize करते हो कि what is this thing for? Ultimately, what are you getting out of it? अगर आप वो सोच लो, maybe I sound a bit philosophical right now, or a very spiritual level, but I'm really talking in reality. If you think about it, it could be 3 months, it could be even 6 months, or even a year, but kahin na kahin it'll hit you one day that for what this has happened, why did you do it? And then at that time, if you still wait for the other person to take that step ahead, I would say don't wait for that other person. You only go ahead and just connect. And I'm sure that time, तब तक उनको भी उतना time मिल चुका होता है where they felt that, oh, this was really a loss. Because everybody needs connection. It's a human need. We can't deny that. So it's okay to have that time period to do it. But at the end, what it counts, it's you could connect, you could get back to them. It could be even after months, days, years, doesn't matter. But I have felt that in my life, it came a time when my daughter was born. I was really preoccupied with her, and emotionally and physically, lot of challenges were for me, and somewhere I was very disconnected. I didn't know what's happening in their world actually. So that's okay. But when I came back, and when I just felt that, it's okay now. I had a difficult time, and I just told them that yes, there was a time I couldn't connect, but now I'm back. So I just informed them, and they were like, it's okay, so that's okay. I mean, हमें थोड़ी शर्म आती है basically, या हम कहीं ना कहीं, I would say, like I said now, you need to trust them. You need to understand कि जैसे अपने parents को भी तो हम अगर we don't talk to them for, I mean sometimes there are times I don't pick up my mom's phone, and I really get a good scolding from her. You can pick up people's phone and counsel them for hours. You don't have time to pick up my phone. And I say, Mom, it's okay. Yeah, I know. I saw your missed call. I'll call back. But because I trust her so much that I know she'll understand me. So वही trust हम mother-in-law को क्यों नहीं कर सकते हैं? That is my question. Mother and mother-in-law, or father or father-in-law, you need to trust. Ultimately, they will understand because they are elderly, they have experienced. It's like when we tell our children, beta, we are your parents, trust. I always tell Samira, like, trust me. Remember, I'm this much years elder to you. I have to tell her. So, notify, because she is really a person who needs to, count, and then she'll count. Oh, you are this much years elder to me. I understand this. So, same thing if we tell ourselves, that they are our elder, they have so much years of experience. They must have seen this in their life with their parents. So, I'm sure they have experienced that.
Absolutely. Rashmi, आप कुछ बोलेंगी before we conclude?
I feel that relationship is a gradient. And if one side is closed and the other side is closed, the gradient doesn't move. It's stuck. So any one side has to start the gradient. And why can't it start with you?
Yes.
It all starts with you. Or I should say, it all starts with me.
Yes. And what a beautiful learning. It all starts with me. And if you are committed to make a change, and not just in their life, this is not just caring of elders. But what's the point of me giving you tips on how to care? I can tell you, sabun le aao, ye kar lo, wo kar lo. But if you're not touching the core issue that obstructs or comes in the way of the care of the elderly is simply relationships. If we can build relationships where we can express ourselves, whether it's anger, love, anything, jealousy, guilt, where we are able to not just express with our mouth, but with our body, where you feel relaxed, not tense, things will be different. If we could create those kind of relationships, which are definitely idealistic relationships, they will have less illnesses. You will have less illnesses because there won't be stress. There will be a creation of harmony. Most of us don't know how to create that. जब तक हमें अक्ल आई इतनी दूर खड़े थे हम जब तक हमें अक्ल आई इतनी दूर खड़े थे हम कि आप नजर भी नहीं आ रहे थे तब अक्ल आने का क्या फायदा हुआ हाँ पर अगर तुम्हारे दिमाग में इतनी हेट है तो सोचो हो सकता है कि उतना ही प्यार है और you are waiting for the other person to knock on your door and they are waiting for you to knock on their door. So I would say this, आज फोन उठाइए अपने माँ बाप को फोन कीजिए अपने इन-लॉज को फोन कीजिए और जो भी आपके अंकल मामा ताई बाबा भाभी जिससे भी आप बात करना चाहते हैं do not wait, pick the phone up after I put the crossover today and go to my other work. मत भूलिएगा फोन उठा के सिर्फ इतना कहना है I love you and I still care for you. कितने ही मैंने दरवाजे बंद कर लिए हों तुम मेरी सांसों में अब भी हो कितने ही मैंने अपने दिल पे ताले लगा दिए हों आज भी मैं तुम्हारे लिए खड़ी हूँ तुम्हारे लिए वेट कर रही हूँ क्योंकि आज भी दिल दर्द होता है जब तुम वहां पे नहीं होते हो ये एहसास अगर आप क्रिएट कर पाए और फिर छोड़ दीजिएगा ना भगवत गीता में वैसे भी लिखा है कर्म किए जा फल की इच्छा मत कर क्योंकि
True.
तुम्हें नहीं मालूम कि तुम्हारी क्या कहना किसके दिल तक कैसे छू जाएगा। चलिए आज हम बातचीत कम करेंगे। रश्मि, सुमिता और मैं तीनों आपको दिल खोल के कहते हैं कि सॉरी भाई, जिसका भी हमने दिल जिन ने दिल दुखाया, आज सॉरी बोल देते हैं। अगर
Definitely.
आज भी
Sorry.
प्यार है, वी आर
Sorry.
वेरी, अगर आज भी
We are
प्यार है
very sorry. Really.
गले लगा लीजिए, क्योंकि हम आपके बच्चे हैं और आप हमारे।
बिल्कुल,
इसी में हम
बिल्कुल।
है, इसी में हमारी आगे बढ़ना है। थैंक यू वेरी वेरी मच। थैंक यू माय ब्यूटीफुल
Thank
पैनल।
you.
थैंक यू
Thank you
सुमिता,
so much.
Rashmi.
Thank you, Anu. Thank you, Rashmi.
I do not know what time because I have a very busy schedule tomorrow and this challenge goes on. I have a feeling either it will be earlier than 11 o'clock. For that, I'll have to get up early, जो कि बहुत मुश्किल है मेरे लिए. Or it's for late little bit. And the topic that we are going to talk tomorrow is why you don't feel understood. Why you don't feel understood. क्या हो गया है तुम्हारे को कि दुनिया तुम्हें समझ रही है पर तुम्हें लगता है कि दुनिया में तुम्हें समझने वाला कोई भी नहीं है. We will pick up another sensitive topic, another taboo topic which nobody wants to go into, and let's see क्या होगा. सुमिता एक बार कंक्लूड कर दें अपनी तरफ से, एंड रश्मि आप भी.
Okay, so just to conclude, I would say when we talk about elderly and care, and these feel very distant words to us, but I think we all are going into that age group, and we are all moving towards that. So अगर हम elderly population को ऐसे segregate ना करके, we just think about the way we care about us, our own selves. You need to care about your people around you, you know. So an elderly care, are elderly people are, there are many elderly people, just not your parents, just not your in-laws. It could be like, anybody around you. There are so many people of this age group. And because I have got an opportunity to visit some old age homes, and I've seen elderly people very closely, where my parents live. So I feel at the end of the day, they are just looking for those connections. सामान लाने वाले और हेल्प करने वाले, फिजिकल हेल्प करने वाले, उनको भी बहुत लोग मिल जाते हैं. बट एट द एंड व्हाट दे आर लुकिंग फॉर, because they have been connected to so many people, and somewhere at towards this age group of your life you're not able to connect. तो अगर आप सब वो कनेक्शन, हम सब वो कनेक्शन कर लें हमारे आसपास के लोगों से, तो ऑटोमेटिकली इट विल बी ऑफ इट इज अ फॉर्म ऑफ केयर.
इट इज, वो एक एहसास कि तुम हो उनके लिए. इट इज केयर. रश्मि.
It's I would like to very beautifully summarize, Sumita, and I would like to say again, it's all about connections. जैसे अभी अनु ने कहा, अभी हम भी अपना फोन उठाएंगे और सबको कॉल करेंगे. आप भी करिएगा.
बिल्कुल, साथ साथ मिल कनेक्शन बनाएंगे और कनेक्शंस बढ़ाने पे ही जिंदगी बढ़ती है. देयर इज नो बिजनेस दैट pumped in by just money. अगर लोग ना, if there are no people, there are no businesses, and there is no business of marriage or relationship also. हमने इसको we have made it right and wrong story. We have made it ours and yours. और इसके बीच में बहुत सारा blame. आज के लिए, सिर्फ आज के लिए, आज शाम तक के लिए, कल फिर वापस आ जाएंगे to our normal self. कल फिर गुस्से हो जाएंगे, पर आज शाम तक के लिए, सिर्फ आज शाम तक के लिए फोन उठाइए, बात कीजिए लोगों से. दे आर वेटिंग फॉर इट. तुम्हें नहीं पता कि तुम किसको केयर फील करा सकते हो. टच देम विद योर वॉइस, टच देम विद योर हार्ट, एंड टच देम विद योर स्पिरिट. थैंक यू सो मच. सी यू ऑल.
थैंक यू. बाय बाय.
मुझे मालूम
नहीं, बाय.
आपको बता दिया है. बाय बाय.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Anu, and thank you, Sumita.
थैंक यू.
Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you, Anu.
थैंक यू सुमिता.